Hey kids, tonight we're going to talk about anime dubs. Now I'm not trying to start up any discourse like, anime dubs are bad, or, dubs are the only way to go, watching Japanese is cringe. Nah, today we're talking about the hit anime series, Urusei Yatsura. For those of you who don't know, Urusei Yatsura is a manga and anime created by Rumiko Takahashi. It tells the story of Ataru Moriboshi, the unluckiest force in all of Japan and the horniest bastard in the universe. And his romance? I guess it's more accurate to say anime plotting with alien princess Lum Invader. Definitely one of my favorite animes. The comedy's on point and it has a nice little way of making you fall in love with all the characters, which is pretty impressive because Ataru is just a piece of shit. The series still holds up strong and is on the same level, and arguably even better than a lot of modern rom-coms. So with that in mind, let's talk about all the dubs that this stupid show got. The first company to try their hands at it was Animego, which gave us Gunsmith Cats and Bubblegum Crisis. They translated the title to Those Obnoxious Aliens and dubbed the first 2 episodes of the series, namely the pilot and the introduction of Ten the Baby. Since they were already putting English subtitles to the show, they thought, hey, let's go one further and dub it in English. What could go wrong? So yeah, that didn't work. One theory for its failure is how extremely Japanese the series is. Not only is half of the cast based off of some kind of Japanese creature or yokai, but the show's humor is jam-packed full of Japanese jokes or references that Western audiences probably wouldn't get. Animego literally had to pass out pamphlets that explained all of the Japanese references to the Western fans. Another theory is that the dub just fucking sucks. Yeah, I'll be real with ya. It's not great. Lum has this accent on her that's not only hard to listen to, but sometimes it's hard to understand what she's saying.
Why, there's a married couple. It's common sense for a married couple to live together.
They also give her a vocal tick of ending a lot of her sentences with cha. Granted, the original version had this too, but it doesn't work as well here.
Darling, what are you doing over there? It's dinner time! Eat cha!
And then there's Ataru, who sounds like he's the vocal inspiration of Shaggy from Scoob.
I'll show you the technique that earned me the name Ataru the Hugger. What do you mean, like carry a briefcase and wear a tie and pay taxes?
Okay, that might have been a bit much, but you see what I'm getting at here, right? The other characters are okay, but when the 2 main, pivotal, in every episode characters are like this, yeah, that's a hard pass from me.
This is Japan TV on BBC Choice.
Yeah, that's right. The second English dub for this series is done by none other than the British Broadcasting Company. This time it went under the name Lum the Invader Girl, and just like the last one, they only did 2 episodes. This time though, they did the first episode and the 3rd episode. You know, the one with Ray in it. So I guess 10 just showed up and we all have to live with that fact. Unlike the Animego dub, which pretty much just translated everything to English, the BBC dub made things a lot more local by adding different jokes and pop culture references.
Let me introduce Mr. Invader, mighty ogre, intergalactic warrior, and the voice of Bert Fry in The Archers.
Very pleased to meet you. I'm here to conquer the Earth.
It reminds me a lot of Lupin the Third Part 2.
Ever actually seen a rat's ass, Goemon?
I saw the Wizard of Oz 100 times.
Is it?
George Lazenby! George Lazenby!
Now you see, it's actually really genius. You see, the original show had a lot of Japanese references. So what do? They replace them all with a bunch of British references. There you go, now everything's fixed. A change that I always found interesting, I guess, was how they made Ataru's father a chiropodist, which is just another way of saying foot doctor.
I am the simple oversexed son of a chiropodist. I will not take responsibility for the future of the human race.
They don't really explain this or reference it other than saying that Ataru is apparently the oversexed son of one. Ah, whatever, who cares? This story is about Ataru and Lam, not about some doctor. Who'd watch an anime about doctors? It's also worth noting that the dub took out Ataru's mom's catchphrase of, "Man, I really wish I never gave birth to my son." I mean, Animego still did it. They have the balls.
Oh dear! I never should have had him.
Righty.
You can say that again.
While this is clearly a joke dub that they did for shits and giggles, it's actually a pretty good way to get into the series. All the jokes they added don't feel too out of place, and all the actors do a pretty good performance. They also get to say the fuck word.
What do you say, Ataru? Will you save the planet and all mankind?
Fuck off!
I mean, at least this time it makes sense for Lum to have an accent, since everyone has an accent.
I would dedicate my entire life to you. Where I come from, marriage is a sacred institution.
But since the only aliens to get introduced are the Onis, and whatever Ray is, it kinda makes me wonder if any other aliens have British accents. Or if, like, the Onis are the only ones who do. The Onis are just, like, space British people. Last on the list is broadcasting company Animax Asia, and just like all the others, they decided to give it a new name. This time they called it Alien Moosey Bat? That's a worse name than Urusei Yatsura. How hard is it to say Urusei Yatsura? This dub stands out because unlike the first two, it does more than like the first 3 episodes. It's implied that they did the entire series, but only bits and pieces are still floating around on the internet. To the very least, I've had rotten luck trying to find anything about it. First thing you'll notice about the dub is that Lum doesn't have an accent on her. Now she sounds like every other anime girl.
Of course not. I was going to buy you a cake to say thank you. So tell me, what's your favorite flavor, huh?
Oh, wait a minute. I made a mistake here. You see, that's not Lum. In this dub, she's referred to as Lamu.
That's not very nice, Lamu.
These Earthlings do eat some weird stuff, don't they, Lamu?
Why though? Also, in this one, Ataru is voiced by a woman.
Well, if you introduce me to some pretty girl, then I'll help you.
I just thought that was worth noting since the other dubs had men as Ataru. All in all, this one was pretty good too. It felt like a faithful translation while still keeping things nice and fresh. Plus all the voice talent did a pretty good job too. I mean, granted it sounds pretty cartoony, but hey, this is a cartoon. So I guess that's to be expected. Well, thank God the series ends there. I mean, it's not like they're gonna make a new show, like a new reboot. Complete reboot that could get dubbed. Help.